All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Today, I will briefly talk about 3D printing technology and some of its uses. All right. So, first of all, what is 3D printing? Well, 3D printing, which is also known as additive manufacturing, it is a process of creating physical objects from CAD or digital models. So, if you create a model using some online software or computer software, and then you connect your 3D printer and you can print out that model. So obviously a machine called a 3D printer is used, and it uses reels of filaments made out of thermoplastics to create the objects. So essentially it's like a malleable plastic, and that's one of the main materials used in the process. And 3D printers, they can range from a small desktop size to large industrial sizes. They are used in many industries, including, but not limited to, medical, aerospace, automotive, architecture, and food industries, just to name a few. So here are some examples. If you look at the left side, you'll see a 3D printer in compared to a size of a laptop. This will be more of like a smaller or a personal use 3D printer. And if you look at the right, you'll see a larger industrial size one, which is taller than the gentleman standing right next to him. And there are in fact even some 3D printers that are even larger than that. So what are some of the advantages? Well, they are quicker, they offer quicker and more customizable designs. So let's say you have a model, you print it out, and you on the spot you can see something you can improve. You can go back on your software, redesign it, make some modifications to the model, and then print it again. It produces less waste and is more eco-friendly. It also offers a relative ease and lower cost of production. They're pretty easy to use if you know how to use most computer programs like Word, Excel, or how in this class how we've learned to use the Onshape program. You can learn to use a 3D printer, at least like the smaller personal usage ones. Also, you can print on demand, and it's just a faster manufacturing process. So, what are some disadvantages? Well, it it has limited use of materials for production. As stated, most 3D printers use like the thermoplastics. So if you're trying to build a part made out of steel or aluminum, something like along those lines, that or wood, that might not be able to be possible. At least with a lot of the smaller 3D printers, they may be limited. Also, the printers may be limited in size and type of parts it can build. So let's say you have a small printer, for most small parts, you would be fine. But if you had the necessity to build a bigger part, you would have to go out and either rent or buy a bigger printer. People also they fear that it may lead to the loss of manufacturing jobs. As stated, it's pretty quick and easy to use, and so if you're building parts using a 3D printer, you might potentially need less people to build one set part. It can also lead to counterfeit production of parts, as mentioned, because it's so easy to produce parts on the 3D printer, and has a potential for people to just create a lot of counterfeit production of parts, and can also have the potential to be used illegally. For example, there's been there's been cases of people using a 3D printer to print out parts for firearms, for rifles, that may be banned, and so that is a potential hazard. So my personal opinion on these is that it is a new technology that has potential for a lot of improvements. I could see a huge potential in creating prosthetics in the medical industry, and I also see a huge potential to create tools, and smaller non-structural parts for the automotive and manufacturing industries. So, what are some local 3D printers in my area? So, I live in Stockton, California, and there's a couple places. So, I do have some friends, like two friends that have their own personal 3D printers. But also, if you go to the local library in downtown, the local library called the Cesar Chavez Central Library, they do have a 3D printer and it's free to use. The local colleges, so the local community college, San Joaquin Delta College, and the University of the Pacific, they both have 3D printing facilities within their campuses. Jaws Tech, which is a 3D manufacturing facility, which is based in Idaho, they will print and deliver orders to residents and businesses directly to Stockton, California, and they can be reached via the website. And also, if you hop on Facebook Marketplace, there's a lot of people that have their own personal 3D printers who can offer their services to either rent them out, or you can hit them up and they'll print something for you. So you got a lot of options here. So that was my brief presentation. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend.